For generations, stories of giants have been dismissed as myth, bedtime tales, folklore, legend. But what if these ancient stories weren't fiction? What if the bones of real giants were discovered and then buried again, not by time, but by design? Because scattered across the world are whispers, documents, and even photos of giant skeletons, discovered, then quietly erased from history. From the Bible's Nephilim to the Sumerian Anunnaki, from the Greek Titans to the Norse Jotnar, nearly every ancient culture describes giant beings who once walked the earth. The Bible, Genesis 6:4, there were giants in the earth in those days. In Native American oral traditions, tribes like the Paiutes speak of red-haired giants that terrorized their ancestors. In Ireland, legends of Fionn mac Cumhail, a giant warrior, explain the creation of the Giant's Causeway. These aren't just isolated stories, they span continents and centuries. Between the 1800s and early 1900s, dozens of newspaper reports across the United States, Europe, and the Middle East told of giant skeletons unearthed. The New York Times, 1902. A 9-foot skeleton reportedly found in southern Wisconsin. The St. Paul Globe, 1897. Giant human bones found in a burial mound in Minnesota. The Nevada Review Minor, 1931. 7 to 8 foot skeletons discovered near Lovelock Cave. These weren't fringe publications. They were mainstream headlines. So why have these finds disappeared from the public record? According to multiple researchers and whistleblowers, many of these skeletal remains were taken by the Smithsonian Institution and never seen again. In 2014, a controversial article circulated claiming the Smithsonian destroyed thousands of giant skeletons in the early 20th century to protect the mainstream historical narrative. While the Smithsonian denies such claims, lawsuits and affidavits have surfaced over the years alleging suppression of findings. Could one of the most respected institutions in science have helped erase a massive chapter of human history? One of the most detailed and chilling accounts comes from Lovelock Cave, Nevada. In the early 1900s, miners excavating bat guano discovered mummified remains of giants, some over 8 feet tall, with red hair. The local Paiute tribe had long spoken of the Siteka, a cannibalistic race of red-haired giants who lived in the area and were eventually exterminated by the Paiutes. Archaeologists did find unusually large bones, sandals, and tools. But much of the evidence mysteriously vanished after official institutions got involved. Coincidence? Or controlled narrative? Outside the US, giant skeletons and artifacts have been reported on every continent. In Peru, elongated skulls found in Paracas suggest not just head binding, but possibly a different, larger species altogether. In Egypt, massive sarcophagi in Saqqara were built for creatures much larger than any known human. In the Middle East, legends of men like cedar trees appear in ancient texts, with some skeletons reportedly over 12 feet tall. And while skeptics point to hoaxes or misinterpretation, the consistency of the reports across time and geography raises real questions. How were ancient people, with no modern machinery, able to move and position stones weighing hundreds of tons? Take the Baalbek foundation stones in Lebanon. Each one weighs over 1,000 tons. Or the walls of Sacsayhuaman in Peru, where stones fit together with laser precision, with no mortar, and some weigh over 200 tons. Mainstream historians say it was done with ropes, wood, and patience. But others believe these sites hint at something else, a race of beings with immense strength and knowledge, perhaps the very giants, now erased from the official record. Today, any mention of ancient giants is swiftly dismissed as pseudoscience. But why the rush to debunk rather than investigate? Could it be that accepting giants once existed would force us to rewrite our understanding of human evolution, migration, and even civilization? Or worse, admit that ancient texts like the Bible or the Book of Enoch weren't just spiritual, but historical? As author and researcher L.A. Marzulli puts it, there is a deliberate effort to hide the bones, because they don't fit the narrative. The evidence may be fragmented, censored, or hidden, but it exists in bones, in myths, in ruins, in whispers carried across millennia. Maybe the question isn't, did giants exist? Maybe the real question is, why are we being told they didn't? What do you believe? Were the giants of legend real? Or just shadows of a forgotten truth? Let us know your theory in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay tuned for more mysteries they don't want you to know. Because the deeper we dig, the more the truth refuses to stay buried.